and see if I need to just adjust the seasonings accordingly. Okay, so that's what you want to do, my wilties. You want to season to your taste. Ooh, it's nice and chunky. Hola Wilty fam, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with T and Lee. So if you have clicked on this video, obviously you like these type of videos, or if you're new to the video, welcome to our videos. So anyway, on this particular episode, we're going to be cooking lasagna, my famous lasagna, and I call it that because it's my husband's favorite meal. My kids really enjoy it, and it's very simple to make. It's easy. As long as you follow the recipe, you'll be fine. But again, I use my seasonings. You might want to use what works best for you, how you like to season your hamburger meat, or your ground chuck is what I'm using in this instance. Okay, so for our seasonings today, we're going to be using a little bit of Italian seasoning, and you can use any one of your choice, whichever one you like. Mrs. Dash original blend, and this is a salt-free option for you guys that can't have salt, but it also gives great flavor to the meal. We're going to be using Sazon, and what I wanted to mention in another video when I used the Sazon, I used the one with coriander and annatto. They have some with just annatto and one without annatto. So it's the one with the orange top you want to use for this. The next thing I'll be using is some complete seasoning, then some garlic powder, and for a special touch, I'm going to be using some soy sauce. Now, I do normally use Worcestershire sauce, but I don't have any today, but that's okay. It's my lasagna, I make it my way, and yes, I do alter the recipe from time to time, just the way I do it. Okay, so you're going to need like about either a half of a large onion or one small onion, a half of a bell pepper. Then I like to use ground chuck. You can just use regular ground beef, but I like ground chuck. I do like to use the Mueller's brand lasagna. And we're trying something new. We like Prego, but we normally get the original kind, but they have something new called Farmer's Market. It's a little bit more pricier than the normal Prego sauce, but it looks delicious. We're just gonna try it and see if we like it or not. So you can use your sauce of your choice, but this is what I'm using today. So then we're gonna go over to our cheese. Now you can get whatever is on sale, whatever brand that's on sale. Cheese is usually cheese, but I've experienced this before, so I know it's good. This is some medium cheddar cheese that I'm using today. Colby Monterey Jack. These are 4 cups each. Okay, so we have 2 cups of the Italian style cheese, and this Italian blend has like mozzarella romano, fontina, asiago, provolone, and parmesan. And then we're going to use an Italian 5 cheese that has some of the same cheeses in there, but it has cream cheese added to this one, and both of these are 2 cups. Okay, so then you're going to be using some salt because you need to salt your pasta water, some oil because you do want to put some oil in your pasta water so the lasagna noodles don't stick together. We're going to need some butter for your pan when you saute your onions and your bell peppers. You can use, I'm using margarine today, but you can use butter as well. And you need olive oil for your pan as well. So those are basically the ingredients. I know it sounds like a lot, but it is a very simple recipe. It's still not complicated, even though it may seem so. So if you're interested in how I make my famous lasagna, stay tuned. Okay, so first you want to take your olive oil, and I have the pan pretty heated here. It's like on a medium heat. We're going to add the olive oil to the pan, and then some margarine, and we're going to put it in there with our olive oil. Let that melt up pretty good. This is like on a medium heat. I just had it weighted on medium until I was ready to add my ingredients. I turned it up just a little bit. After that's melted, I'm going to go ahead and add my onions and bell pepper. And we're gonna saute these until they get a little translucent. Okay, so now that it's nice and translucent here, we're going to add our ground beef. So I got it open here. I'm just squeeze that on in. It's actually ground chuck, but ground beef works good too. I prefer the flavor of ground chuck. It tastes better. But again, ground beef works as well. So we're going to add that in. Okay, so I have the ground beef in the pot, and I went ahead and add my seasonings to it. Now you want to season this to taste. There are really no measurements that I use for this. I just season it enough to where I like the way it tastes. And of course I do taste it whenever it's done and see if I need to just adjust the seasonings accordingly. Okay, so that's what you want to do, my wilties. You want to season to your taste, because what may be perfect to me may be salty to you, or it may be very bland to you. So just season this to taste. Your taste is the right way. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this down until this ground chuck is cooked all the way through. And then we're gonna come back. Okay, so while the meat is browning, I'm going to add my lasagna pasta. And we're going to use the full box. The water is boiling. I added the sea salt and I added some oil so the pasta won't stick together. But you want to make sure you move it around to ensure that it doesn't stick. So that's that. I'm just going to wait for those to get nice and soft. Now I'm going to add my spaghetti sauce, and again I'm using the Prego's Farmers Market. This is something new. I believe it's very new in the stores, and we're trying it out for the first time, and hopefully it's delicious. You want to make sure that your stove is like on a low heat before you add this, because it will pop and you don't want to get burned. Ooh, it's nice and chunky. This is the 4 cheese flavor, in case you're wondering. Okay, so I added both of those. You want to just go ahead and give that a good mix. I did strain my ground chuck, by the way. So make sure you strain your meat, whatever you're using, before you add the sauce. Otherwise it will be watery and it will be oily. So I took my pasta off the stove and I drained it, and then I put some cold water in there so I'll be able to handle it. Now don't be worried if some of them break, because sometimes that's just what they do. We're going to still assemble it and it'll be fine. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put some pasta at the bottom of your pan. So enough to just cover the bottom. And I did use 3 pounds of ground chuck. I don't think I mentioned that in the beginning, but it is 3 pounds. Okay, we're just going to spread that at the bottom. Then we're going to take our lasagna. You need about 4 per row in this size pan.
Is that how I can see?
Okay, so let's proceed with more sauce. Now I do not use ricotta cheese in my lasagna. I do not like ricotta cheese in my lasagna personally, so that would not be in here today. But this is just the way I make it. Okay, spread it evenly. Then we go to add the cheese. So this does not have to go in any particular order. Just put a small layer of the cheese on top. So then you just want to go ahead and repeat the steps. Pasta, sauce, and then your cheese. Well, I think I forgot to use this one the first time, but it's okay. Okay, we're gonna just keep repeating until I'm done, and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you're done. I just got finished layering the lasagna and then adding the final layer of cheese on top, and that's the finished product. And I also made my husband his own personal little one over here. So I had enough left over to make him his own personal lasagna. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is put it in the oven at 375 degrees. Now you're leaving that in there long enough for the cheese to melt. It is pretty thick, so it'll take about 20 to 25 minutes at least for the cheese to melt. So we're going to put that in the oven, and whenever it's done, we're going to bring it out and show you the finished product. Okay, so we just took the lasagna out of the oven, and this is what it looks like. Nice and brown, crusty top. That's his personal one, looks so good. And then this is the family one. So what we normally do is we let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes because you want your lasagna to set up well. You don't want it to fall apart before you plate it. So just go ahead and let it rest for about 15 to 20 minutes. Alrighty guys, so I am done. This is what the finished product looks like. There's the lasagna. You can see I cut into it. Nice and cheesy and delicious. Nice crust on the top. Very beautiful. I love it. My family loves it, and I believe that you will love it too if you try this recipe for yourself. Now this is simple, but if you're not used to making things like this, it may not be so simple for you at first. But if you follow the recipe or my video step by step, you should have no problem perfecting this fabulous homemade lasagna. So again, here it is. Won't you guys give this a try at home? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think of it, how yours turned out for you, maybe what cheeses you used, if you did add ricotta, if you do like ricotta or not, and just let me know what you think below. Thank you again so much for joining us. Give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. And if you want to be notified of our videos, don't forget to hit the notification bell down below so you'll be notified as soon as we upload something. Thank you so much for joining us. I love cooking, and I always have fun cooking on camera with you guys. And until next video, God bless you. Happy cooking. Peace.